as fast as a new race season starts. Blink, and it's over. For Dan Jones, this will be his last NATSKA Championship race weekend, defending his 2019-2020 NATSKA Championship title for the second consecutive year. This is how he did it. Class 15 about to make their way onto the circuit, and here's a look then at the grid. It's a fairly large grid, I have to say. Quite a few drivers. Matthew Lewin starting on the front row with Henry Wardle alongside Caden Bott, Katie Hodgkinson, who is out there as well and fourth on the grid. In fact, no, I don't think Katie is here, so expect a gap on that one. Tom Rayner, Hayden Abrams on row number 3. Max Hoffman-Cooper alongside. Oh no, is he another driver who's not here? Yes, he is. No, he's only here tomorrow as well. So we'll explain that a little bit later on. Daniel Andrews alongside on 8th row on the grid. Cameron Bott, and then is James Habersham on the 10th spot on the grid. Andrew King and Dan Jones on the row number 6. Row 7, Joseph Wardle and Ewan Syme. Then it's Josh Neve and Joe Webb. Harry Parr and Alex Biles on 18th or 17th and 18th on the grid. Yes, indeed. Yes. So 2 drivers that we don't have here today, that being Max Humphrey-Cooper and Kate Hodgkinson. Now, they unfortunately got pinged up and had to isolate, but their isolation ends at midnight tonight.
Which means they're here tomorrow.
Which means they're coming tomorrow.
I love that. I absolutely love that, because that means they won't even be able to set up or do anything here today. They'll be driving down and getting set up tomorrow morning.
Yeah,
which is quite amazing.
Yeah, so midnight tonight, they'll leave midnight.
They're probably parked somewhere close by.
No,
they're going to be at home. They're going to be at home, haven't they?
Home. Yeah,
oh, goodness me.
So they're at home, they're isolating.
I hope they don't live too far away.
Well, yeah, you would hope so, wouldn't it? Oh, yeah, we're in Scotland. Oh, no. There we go. So, of course, in this one, of course, we say the live stream, a huge part of this weekend. Okay, the Nationals is never been streamed, I think, before, so it's the first time for everyone. And again, we have to say a huge thank you to the sponsors, and one of the sponsors, of course, is Signage Media UK, which is one of the drivers' dads out there. Harry Parr's dad, I have to say, Justin, who's the owner of the Signage. Great contribution to the live stream out there, and we thank him. Thank him dearly as well.
Yeah, absolutely. He's making NATSKA history, or helping make NATSKA history here with the coverage that Alpha Live are providing. So big thank you to him. Signage Media UK. Go and Google what they do. I'm sure it's probably not that difficult to figure it out, but please do Google what they do. Obviously after this race, because the road taxes always provide brilliant racing, and it's probably a class that you're more familiar with, Anthony.
Well, yes, so you can see there a couple of the engines. You can see that you've got some of the bog standard junior engines out there, which have got the silver top, but then you can also see some with the red top. Now they're the Junior Road Evo engines, so they're a slightly more modern engine out there. But green flag is out. Away they go. 9 minutes plus that additional lap. All in towards that first chicane. Oh, bit of contact there. One goes round. One misses the chicane. Oh, it's a huge pile-up. And everyone's stuck. Oh, dear me. That's going to be a one to deal out. Battenberg, full course yellow flag comes out indeed. And something tells me that they're not going to be able to take the chicane if they do come round in time. That was interesting. Oh, and there's more contact. Boys, you're under full course yellow. What are you doing? Single file. There's someone running wide as well.
I shake my head as drivers are starting to get out of their cars now to try and pull their carts off. And obviously, if you get out your car to do that, that's your race over, even if the engine's still running. So absolutely gutting for the number 5 there. Harry Parr. Ooh, just been picking up his dad. He won't be very happy to see that one on the Alpha Live that he's paid for, or he's helped pay for. Unfortunately, with a bit of a warning there. And obviously, I mean, full course yellow. If anybody out there is wondering what full course yellow means, it means slow down, single file, and above all else, don't hit each other.
Well, no overtakings out
there.
No
overtaking is the ultimate one.
Yeah, there's another one. Yeah, can't forget that one.
So yeah, hopefully they'll maybe they didn't see the yellow flag immediately. We'll give them that excuse. So yeah, hopefully we get a good restart, we get a good clean restart, and we can get back into the racing, but unfortunately a few drivers obviously not making it. And in fact, there we go, the number 1 car of Dan Jones obviously won the championship in 2019-20 season, so he's out of the first race already. The number 7 of Henry Wardle is holding each other up. We have got a lot of drivers retiring after this meeting on this grid, so we'll go through them a little bit later.
We will indeed, the number 8 as well. Hayden Abrams was also another one who's come a cropper as well. That's had to be pulled off the track. So again, drama at the start then of Class 15, the Rotax class, and an interesting one for that one. That is the thing with that first chicane. It really can close up the racing. It's very tight on entry as they go through. But when you're all side by side and jostling and fighting for position, it just showed there that a little bit of contact, back wheel up in the air, and around it goes. And with the rest of the field slotting through, there was nowhere for anyone to go, and it was just all a big pile-up.
Yeah, essentially. I mean, it reminds me a little bit of the Rowley first chicane as well, when that sort of runs in. And I'd say the start-finish line here is even longer than the Rowley one. It's not that long, the start-finish straight at Rowley, or it didn't used to be anyway. I'm not sure if they've moved it, but that means they gain more speed here. And the Rotaxes, they have a lot of speed.
Oh, yeah.
And they take some stopping. So unfortunately, we saw a little bit of a mix-up. But hopefully that's just some pre-race nerves. We're still on full course yellow. Maybe the nerves have settled down and we can get racing sooner rather than later. We are under full course yellow still, so I think there's still some karts being cleared up, but maybe we'll get racing in the next lap.
Indeed. Expect the green flag anytime now, and expect it now. There it is. Green flag back out. We're back underway, racing in towards turn 1. Are we going to get a repeat of what happened earlier? No, we're all good. We're all good. Everyone they learnt their lesson that time, didn't they? They learnt their lesson. They got through. Diving down the inside, though, is the 18 of Andrew King on Tom Freya. Gets past there. Tom Freya being nerfed out slightly wide, and Daniel Andrews as well manages to get through as well on that 34. Gets that job done nicely. There's the number 7, Harry Wardle, and in second place with Matthew Lewin as well, leading the way comfortably. He's got that Tony Kart chassis at the front of the field. Rest of the field slotting through. Nicely done there by them. Again, just a single class out in this one, denoted by that red number board with the white number. So nice, easy one for the folks at home to keep an eye on. 5.5 minutes then to go across the line. Let's have a look at the order. Matthew Lewin, Henry Wardle, Caden Bott, then it's James Havisham, Andrew King. Oh, more contact, yep. Oh, is that a flat tyre there, or was it a big flat spot there? Who was that went right? Was that the 34?
It was Caden Bott actually in the 32, and it looked like he was just going squeezed out to the outside a little bit too much, and maybe made contact with some tyres, locked up, and that's why the flat spot occurred.
There we go. So big shame there for that driver. Back at the front, though, Matthew Lewin and Henry Wardle still nose to tail, side by side, or nose to tail, I should say, not side by side, as they go through, slotting round into position, nice and comfortably. There we go, good racing from these drivers now. Now that exit curb at the boot section, it's fairly new, and again the same here. Lots of divots in there. You don't want to run right on it. Very uncomfortable. If you do one ride on it, basically what you have to do is you then have to book an appointment at the dentist after you've gone over it, because you'd lose all your fillings. And
want to have a look at the spine, I imagine, as well, because obviously without the suspension, that's a very wide moment there by one of the drivers. 34 and 18, James Havisham going. Sorry, it's not James actually. It's Daniel Andrews and Andrew King going side by side. And I tell you what, look at this. This is for the race leaders. Henry Wardle versus Matthew Lewin. Lewin keeping that. Oh, he hasn't kept it though. He span round on the exit after going over that rumble strip. And that's allowed Wardle to go through. And all of a sudden, I think Matthew Lewin's going to take a while to be able to go back into the train of karts.
That is a huge shame then. And it just shows you how quick it can go wrong in Rotax, doesn't it? So they exit out of the corner. The back just steps out and around and around it went, and unfortunately couldn't hold on to that one. So Henry Wardle has inherited the race lead. James Havisham has crossed the line in second place, but there you can see Daniel Andrews and Alex Biles fighting away. Alex Biles being one of the novice drivers and doing, I say, a fairly good job. He's up P4 at the moment, so running comfortably well. He's got the company now of Daniel Andrews. I say he's P4. I think it's actually P3 now, I should say, as they go through. Yeah, because actually race leader in second place, just up ahead, who are fighting for position. So slotting all the way through, holds on to that one. Good lines through there. So Alex Biles looking very comfortable out on track. Now moving up into third place with a competitive time as well. Has actually got the fastest lap of the race, so is running fairly quick out there.
Yeah, well, apparently he's a novice because obviously he's, you go in NATSKA, you get your novice license to start with, which is the practice sections. You then go to low-powered, which you then become a novice in that for a meeting or two, I believe. And then you go to eventually racing that for a couple of years. You go to high-powered, but you become a novice again in high-powered. Now, in the novice, you have to start at the back of the grid, but I was told before that Alex Biles is one to keep an eye out on. Bit of a special talent, very quick, I've heard, and although starting at the right of the back, you won't expect them to finish there by any means, which is quite clear because they're in third place as the top two are still trading places. Henry Wardle is still trying to hold off from James Haberston.
Yes, indeed.
Haberston even.
Haberston, yeah, there you go. I say, tried to hold on, couldn't hold on anymore because down the inside, gets the job into turn one, takes the lead. So James Haberston is now leading this Class 15 race of the day. Henry Wardle, I should say, has dropped back down on that Gillard chassis and, you know, working strong as they go through. And now you see the Cosmic chassis. Is that for James Haberston? Now, there's one thing. Now, you've got Cosmic and you've got KR Sport. Now, Cosmic and KR Sport, again, two big teams in the karting world and both racing the British champs. And now, they've got two paint schemes that are absolutely identical, and it's incredibly annoying for the commentators because you can't tell the difference between a KR Sport chassis and a Cosmic chassis. It
is always a bit of a nightmare, isn't it? I mean, I do more car commentary than anything else. It's like, oh, there we go, Henry Wardle going straight on, and he's going to try and blend back into second place. It's not going to be achievable, and he's dropped all the way down into fourth. I think that's Daniel Andrews going through. So Andrews all of a sudden inherits third place, and I tell you what, that means Alex Biles from the back of the grid has inherited second so far. Now, James Haberston, you're right, in that Cosmic-looking kart. Now, he's retiring at the end of this meeting. This is his last meeting, unfortunately. I think he's very much enjoying NATSKA. However, he doesn't really have many plans to continue racing after this, which is a bit of a shame. Apparently, he's enjoying life as a labourer. He's got a great mentor, but he's very much going to enjoy being 18 years old when the pub's open, is what he's put in his plan after he's finished NATSKA racing. So, you know what? Fair play to him.
Yeah. There we go. Trade racing for the pub. So, I have to say, yeah, it does sound marvellous, actually. But there we go. So, 4 seconds remaining on this race. Last lap board will be out this time around for James Haberston and that 33 kart. Leading the way on your screen. You can see the 73, though, of Alex Biles is slowly reeling in because he's managed to get past Daniel Andrews and is now up into second place. So, and of course, from that mistake from Henry Wardle as well, so has moved up into second place and has slowly closed that gap in. Last lap board's out. Race is on. Ring that dinner bell because Heat 1 is about to get exciting at the end of this race. James Haberston and Alex Biles line astern. It is, of course, as they go through turn number 1. Nice run through there. Are we going to see a lunge down the inside here? Pulls out of the slipstream, tucks that nose in alongside. Oh, can't quite do it there. Stays behind. But there you go. There's the first lunge. Now James Haberston knows that Alex is there. That's what's going to keep this one at bay. But it's going to be a tough old task, of course. The XL chassis there along behind as well, and that's going to be a lot of work as they go through. Out of the hairpin now, in towards the boot section. Not many opportunities to do it now. Are we going to see a lunge down the inside here? No. Defensive line there from James Haberston as they exit through, but he's run wide on exit. Is that going to allow Alex to get down the inside? No, he can't. Stays behind. Great defensive line from James Haberston. Out of the final corner. Hand up. And well done, James Haberston. Alex Biles crosses the line in second place. Daniel Andrews in third. Henry Wardle fourth. Josh Neve in fifth place. Andrew King, Joe Webb, Matthew Lewin, Caden Bott, and Tom Rayner are your top 10. Harry Parr crosses the line in 11th place. And then we see our retirements. The number 8, Hayden Abrams, we lost. Cameron Bott, the 29, we lost. Dan Jones, we lost. Ewan Syme, we lost as well.
James Haberston, as soon as the pubs do reopen after this weekend, they'll be drinking to that, I'm sure, because it was a good race win, and it was a hard-fought win by Alex Biles, charging through the order. So look forward to seeing how that progresses throughout the weekend.
Well then, Class 15 about to make their way onto the track. One grid for this one, and it's all road tax karts who will be heading out to the circuit. Joe Webb starting on the front row with Cameron Bott alongside Dan Jones, and Max Humphrey Cooper will not be here in fourth place because, of course, he'll be here tomorrow. Matthew Lewin and Josh Neve round out row number 3. Ewan Syme and Andrew King alongside on row number 4. Tom Rayner and Joseph Wardle on row number 5. Hayden Abrams and Henry Wardle on row number 6. Row number 7, Caden Bott, Harry Parr. Row number 8 is James Havisham and Daniel Andrews. Kate Hodgson also not here, with Alex Biles in 18th place. There they are on the dummy grid. And so for their first race earlier on, we saw the number 33, James Havisham. He took the race win for Barclay. He started 10th on the grid and got that race win. There is the number 14 on your screen. That's Joe Webb. He's got the 29 of Cameron Bott alongside there. You can see again the concentration. There's the number 1 plate. We saw retirement from Dan Jones in the first race. Of course, again, collisions that we saw at the turn 1 chicane. It was a very busy one. We saw again, I think half the grid, got caught up in that one, wasn't it, when in this race. Again, alongside, you see the 35 there. And there's the number 3. That's Josh Neve, lined up again, very prime. It's one of the old. It's quite a old Tony Kart livery that he's got on that one. It's quite a nice sort of.
That's what I used to have.
Yeah.
Yeah, the last kart I owned was that livery.
Oh, is it? There you go. There it is. There's the rest of the field. There's the 18 on your screen. Andrew King. Looking strong in that one. Again, alongside. You can just see. Couldn't quite catch the number on that one. There's the number 10 on your screen. Joseph Wardle. And there's the number 8. Is Hayden Abrams looking comfortable, looking poised, ready. There's the 7, Henry Wardle. Nice thumbs up there on the Gillard chassis. Is 32, Caden Bott. Again, he's on a Fernando Alonso chassis. Look at that. There you go. The blue.
We're getting all the liveries out here. All the manufacturers.
Yeah. There's the number 9, Harry Parr. You can see he's got personalised. Look at that, personalised stickers on that one. He's got his name on the front of it. 33. James Havisham there for Barclay as well. Cosmic chassis. 34 there. Daniel Andrews. Now that to me looked like a Dan Holland Racing chassis, but it's not Dan Holland Racing one. Here's an SBR chassis though. 73.
Those nose codes are
Alex
very
Miles.
interesting, aren't they?
They are, yeah. Well, you see that again. They're for aerodynamic efficiency.
Wow. I mean, it's an interesting way to go, but as I said, it's just never seen them before, unfortunately. But we'll see how well it works. But Alex Biles, obviously back of the field, absolutely smashed it in the last race.
Yeah, and it's Sam Pollock Racing is that car. I called it XL earlier on today, and I said chassis a moment ago, and it's clearly not the chassis, it's just the team. So there we go, me getting all my words mixed up tremendously there. Now, the reason why you may be thinking, oh, what are we waiting for? There's a couple of karts being recovered from the previous couple of races. Of course, very tight-knit schedule here for the National Schools Karting Association. That they don't have much time to recover karts, so they put the karts in a safe spot, and they use this time to now. They thought, we're accumulating quite a few karts out on track. I think we've probably tidied it up a little bit. So you can see there, mechanics going out with the dollies and taking the long walk back with the kart on, and I suspect the chat going, so what happened?
Yeah.
Why did it happen?
Yeah.
Why did you do that?
Yeah, all the racer go, well, it just exploded. It just didn't work. It's like, well, why didn't it work? Why didn't it work? Explain to me. So hopefully we'll get them out on circuit. But yeah, just a bit of a mention. Obviously, at Class 15 being the highest powered kart, we do have a few drivers who are retiring at the end of this season. And, well, if you haven't accessed the NATSKA magazine that they've put together for the Nationals, then by all means scroll down on their Facebook page and download it, because it's absolutely fascinating. It's full of interesting tidbits, including a lot of the drivers have given slightly sort of small interviews and answered questions about what maybe they're doing after NATSKA and maybe what NATSKA meant to them and everything like that. Well, we can say that Dan Jones, who's actually car number 1 there, just on the second row of the grid, actually, apparently he's off to do a motorsport engineering degree. Hasn't actually mentioned which university he wants to go to, but he is hoping to still attend as many NATSKA race days as possible to support Chris Brown, the team leader of AMS, and all the AMS young drivers as well. So trying to be a bit of a legacy, shall we say, for the AMS team, and hoping to come back and do his bit, give back to a community that have obviously helped him and that he's thoroughly enjoyed over the years.
I know, it's excellent to see, and yeah, it's always good to know that, you know, when drivers retire from the racing and then go off and learn it and then come back and maybe bring it up. It's always a nice touch, isn't it? It keeps the family vibe in the paddock, doesn't it? And it's you know, the NATSKA family here, it does feel like one big family. All the marshals they're all either parents from the teams there, or they're old. They've been in NATSKA for years and years. And they're
very nice as well. I mean, they came in and offered us cake.
Well, they offered me cake.
They offered you cake. You gave them a shout out. I didn't get cake.
I basically, it's Nikki who's waving the green flag on the start-finish line. She makes the cakes. She does a sterling job. So it's all good. I'm saying nice things about you, Nikki. It's fine. She's staring at me with a blank face. There we go.
What is that guy on about?
What about oh, so that's Nikki down there. So
that's Nikki. Yes, apologies.
I'm getting anything. That's Liv, is it, on the start-finish line?
Liz.
Okay,
Liz
Liz on the start finish line. So it's Liz. Well, I was saying nice things to Nikki. Nikki's down in the middle of the track. So there we go.
So you're getting them mixed up now. They're not going to offer you cake tomorrow, are they?
We'll pretend that didn't happen. There we go. That's what we'll do.
Well, as the Class 15 are now out, they've given a lazy start. They've pushed the button to turn their engines on, and like the Class 7, where it takes a little bit of elbow grease to get it going, but they are all sort of petering now the back ends of the circuit, so we will be ready to get going and get some racing on your screens. Now all the karts are recovered, Anthony.
They are indeed. Karts are recovered, and we're going to get this first race, or the Heat 2 for Class 15 underway. It was a win for the 33 of James Habersham earlier on today. Who's going to take the win this time around? Green flag out in towards turn 1. It was a disaster first race. Are we going to get another one this time around, or have they all learnt their lesson? They've all learnt their lesson. Look at that. Nicely done. Well done. All side by side. Oh, perfect. I liked that a lot as they go through in towards the hairpin. And everyone, again, nice and clean through there. There it is, the 33. You can see in the mid-pack there, James Habersham, who is, again, going strong at the moment. But leading the way is the 35 of Matthew Lewin, steaming ahead, doing a sterling job. Oh, who's that running wide there? It's the 71. That's not the racing line for Tom Rayner, but he gets back on track. And he gets that car back on the straight and narrow there. The number 1, you can just see Dan Jones there fighting third place. At the moment, out they go. Track limit warning for Tom Rayner. I don't think he gained anything from that, but rules are rules.
Well, rules are rules at the end of the day. You've got to respect it, haven't you, as they go through the first corner for the second time. Now we can see Matthew Lewin in the race, Lee Joe Webb in second place. Dan Jones is at 1 position into third, and by the looks of it, that's slotting up the inside the number 33 of James Habersham and Andrew King. So Habersham already, he's climbed 6 positions. That was his 7th that we caught on screen.
There we go. So 7.5 minutes to go there, side by side for third place as well between Dan Jones. Or no, it's not Dan Jones. There we go. You're on your screen. There we go. And get my people mixed up as well. He's fighting for second place. He is side by side though in towards the boot section. You can just see there Matthew Lewin trying to fight off. He took the defensive line that struggled him on the exit. Is he going to hold the inside line through turn 10? Yes, of course he is. Is that going to affect his exit speed? Yes, it has. And he's retaken the lead. So Dan Jones now takes the lead of this race. Matthew Lewin slots back into second place. Ewan Syme as well is holding on into third place, and that number 5. Joe Webb as well in 4th place. I want to keep an eye on where Alex Biles is as well, the 73, because obviously he came second place very close. He's up into 12th place at the moment. So fighting through. Keep an eye on that one because he likes to shimmy through this grid quite quickly. Out they go. There is the number 5 of Ewan Syme slotting into place there. He's got very close company from Joe Webb and Josh Neve just behind, as well as the rest of the field slotting his position. It's side by side for Neve and Webb as they go through. Oh, a little bit of contact there further back. The 33 getting involved. That's James Habersham there, your previous race winner, trying to get through this pack as well. and is forcing his way past. You can see Joe Webb not going defensive into the chicane, holds on to it. Rest of the field holding on to it as well. Good racing all the way through the pack.
Yeah, it is. It's wherever you look, it's action-packed, isn't it? It's pretty much 2x2. Hurrah, hurrah, some might say. Although I don't think the number 14 driver is going to be thinking that. Joe Webb, he gets muscled out of it somewhat, and that's really scuppered his plan into the chicane. He gets overtaken by Henry Wardle as well as James Havisham, Andrew King, and Hayden Abrams as well. So I think the number 14 of Joe Webb is going to fall down the order on the timing screen as soon as we cross the start-finish line. Again, there's Biles in the 73 car. He's up to 10th. I believe that was him advancing up to 9th place with a novice plate on the back of your car. The car going that quickly just doesn't seem right, but he's absolutely flying.
Oh, yes, he is indeed. 5.5 minutes to go then on that timing screen. And 4 laps completed. Here is the number 8 of Hayden Abrams there out on track. He's got Henry Wardle just behind. Close company on that Gillard chassis. Working well, trying to get it through, and again, not making any lunges there. Just behind is Alex Biles, now up into P8, working well. There's a lunge down the inside. Was that Cameron Bott on that Andrew King there? I think it may have been out of the corner, as you can just see there. Henry Wardle lifting up that radiator cover just to cool the engine down slightly. You can put it down for about half a lap or so just to heat that engine up to gain that extra bit of revs, and then you lift it up. If you left it down the whole race, it would just go up.
Yep, it would explode rather dramatically, I imagine, as well. And oh, look at this down the order now. This is between the, well, it's not down the order actually. This is a fight for around about the podium positions, because that's the number 33 of James Havisham. He's gotten through on Ewan Simon. There's contact there. There's Alex Biles and the number 7 of Henry Wardle.
Yeah, I don't think he was expecting Hayden to slow down as much as he did out of that corner. And that meant that Alex Biles went in. Now, in other championships, that would be potential for a potential nose cone penalty. But again, I don't know if you do get those in this one's here. But again, side by side, look to the inside. And as they go through, no positions gained or lost through this section. 4 minutes to go. Action-packed all the way through this field.
I thought Havisham was going to actually have 2 people in the same move there, but wasn't quite the way. He's up to 4th place, though. Obviously, our race 1 winner, or heat 1 winner, I should say. Dan Jones has got nearly a 5-second gap. He's got 4.5 seconds anyway. To the next driver as Alex Biles goes through on Hayden Abrams. And he makes this look easy, doesn't he? It makes us look like they're in a different class. He's so quick, this Alex Biles. But I'm sure it's going to get a little bit harder now that he's trying to fight for those top 10, those top 5 positions. But it is scary to think, as soon as he's not put on the back of the grid regularly, how he's going to fare.
Yeah, we'll keep a close eye on that one. But yeah, like you say, Dan Jones is leading this race, crosses the line, sets a new fastest lap of the race as well, 46.55. Matthew Lewin is still holding on, 5.5 seconds a little further down the road in 2nd place on that 35. Josh Neve in 3rd place, James Havisham. Alex Biles now, who's on your screen, has moved up into 5th place. Track limit warning for Caden Bott in the 32. Not sure where that was for on track, but stewards are keeping a very close eye all the way around the track. Doing a much better job at us keeping an eye on the racing, aren't they? Henry Wardle there in 7th place, with Hayden Abrams there in 6th as well. Andrew King in 8th. Daniel Andrews in 9th place. Joe Webb in 10th. That's the top 10. Harry Parr in 11th. Cameron Bott, who just got the track limits warning, in 12th. Caden Bott, guessing there's a relation, in 13th place. Ewan Syme in 14th place. Now, he was up the pecking order a little further on, so I'm not sure what's happened to Ewan, the number 5. Maybe come a cropper.
Well, he's about 12 seconds slow on that last lap, so I think he's had a bit of a spin.
I think he's had a bit of a moment. Tom Rayner in 15th place, and Joseph Wall rounding out the grid. 16 karts in the number 10 in 16th place. So, Dan Jones at the front of the pack, comfortably leading as it stands, as he goes through. The left-hander there. Nice, comfortable, calm, good pace on him at the moment as they go through. Matty Lewin there, 6.4 seconds a little further down the road. He's going to have the company of Josh Neve probably in a moment. And there is actually a very close battle for 3rd place between the number 3 and 33, Josh Neve and James Havisham, because there is nothing between those two for the battle for 3rd place. That is probably something we want to keep an eye on. There is 2nd place Now there's the 33. Now it was close in the last lap. Now that would be why it's not close anymore, because Alex Biles, the 73, has managed to get into between the two of them and have opened that up. So again, there may have been again, look at that, 90% of that front bumper's duct tape. A mechanic needs three tools, sorry. Duct tape, if it's moving and it shouldn't. Cable ties, if it's moving and it shouldn't move. And WD-40, if it isn't moving and it should move.
No, you forgot the hammer for if all three things go wrong, to take some frustration out of there.
Well, there you go. 4 tools is all a karting mechanic needs in his toolbox.
Absolutely. Dan Jones absolutely flying, by the way, isn't he? Because look at that. He had a 46 in the previous lap. He's just set another fastest lap time, and he's the only driver to delve into the 46s. He's done that 2 or 3 laps in a row now. We're on to the 10th lap. The next quickest driver, realistically, having said that, Alex Biles has set a 46. My apologies, Alex. And so is Daniel Andrews on that last lap as well, so just forget what I'm saying, basically.
Okay, 40 seconds to go, and on your screen is Alex Biles. No, I'm kidding.
It only just happened on that last lap.
Exactly, there you go. There is the 33, James Havisham. He's closing up on that gap as well. Only 20 seconds left on the timer, so I suspect the drivers are going to get past the start-finish line. We are, yes. So race leader has crossed the line now. And so last lap board's not going to come out this time around. So we've still got a couple more laps to go. Not going to be enough time, but yeah, it's definitely been a close race. We saw it in, we didn't see it in Heat 1 because Dan Jones unfortunately did retire. But Josh Lewin and James Havisham, again, they've just been nose-tail as well with Alex Biles. So it's been they're your main culprits in this class, really, haven't they? Yeah,
they've been fantastic in this race as well, carving through the field on the most part. Obviously, Dan Jones doesn't really need to carve anything out, has he? Because he sort of started towards the front. He got towards the front very quickly, and from there on hasn't really worried about it too much. The last lap is about to be held out by Liz on the sort of gantry board there. Gainer's nodding ahead, so I got it right this time. To start lap 12, and what, as I said, will be the final lap of the race. By the looks of it, Havisham in 3rd place. We'll have to settle for that at the moment. The gaps are all about a second, but Hayden Abrams has had a bit of a problem. He's slotted down to 8th position. And Harry Parr has now crossed the line in 10th. So, in fact, Hayden's in 9th now, actually.
I think you could be right indeed. So, like I say, last lap board is out and has been out for a fair while because your race leader, Dan Jones, is about to enter the penultimate corner. One more corner to go then for Dan Jones in Heat 2. It went all wrong in Heat 1. It's redemption time in Heat 2 as Dan Jones takes the checkered flag and crosses the line, takes a race win. Matthew Lewin crosses the line. Well, that's not Matthew Lewin. Who's that? That's the number 10. That's Joseph Wardle in 16th place. There is Matthew Lewin in the Tony Kart, the green striking helmet. Takes 2nd place, so he's had a 1st and a 2nd. It was James Havisham who won earlier on, wasn't it? So he's had a good result in this one. James Havisham crosses the line 3rd, so a 1st and a 3rd. Alex Biles, great result, 2nd and 4th for him out of track so far in the 2 heats. Josh Neve in 5th place, Henry Wardle. Then it's Daniel Andrews, Andrew King, Hayden Abrams and Harry Parr. They're your top 10 out on track. Joe Webb, Caden Bott, Cameron Bott, Ewan Syme, Tom Rayner, and Joseph Wardle round out the grid of 16 karts. Hey, look at that, it worked.
It's as if you got the director sitting right behind you, Darren.
Well, no, Darren has done a fantastic job all the way through today. We're blaming Gaynor on that one. That was Gaynor's fault for that mistake.
You won't get the hog roast.
Here we go then, here's the grid then for the final race of the day. It's Heat 3 for Class 15 and it's race 20 of the day. Tom Raya, again, make sure I get it right this time again, is starting on pole position. Daniel Andrews alongside on that front row. Hayden Abrams alongside on row number 2 with Henry Wardle with him alongside. And then it is Ewan Syme and Cameron Bott rounding out row number 3. James Havisham and Harry Parr round out row number 4. Then it's Max Humphrey Cooper, who is not here today. He will be here tomorrow on row number 5 with Caden Bott alongside Josh Neve and Joe Webb rounding out row number 6. Row number 7, Matthew Lewin. Kate Hodgson, also not here, will be here tomorrow. Joseph Wardle, Andrew King, Dan Jones, and Alex Biles rounding out the top 18. Yeah. Hands up. Get that cool picture. Keep them there. He can't take a picture that quick. Keep them there and hold them there. Hold them. Hold. Well done. There we go. You can hear me as well.
Oh, it's all down to you, Anthony. That's what that is. Yeah, getting the fantastic photos.
There you go. They can hear that. There we go. So you can see them there, lined up, ready at the front. The 34 there, Daniel Andrews, top order there. He's got the 71 alongside Tom Raya. There we go. Get the name right. I've got to keep saying it correctly.
You'll be saying it in your sleep tonight, won't
I
you?
will be. Yeah. Practicing in front of the mirror. Strong statement in the disembodied voice in my head. Apparently I snore at night. That's a lie. That is a stone cold lie, that is. There's the number 5, Ewan Syme as well. Good race from him earlier on. The 29 as well, Cameron Bott. Tarpoli as well. The 33 of James Havisham had a race win earlier on. The number 1, Dan Jones, had a race win as well, so keep an eye on that one. There is the number 9 of Harry Parr. Again, Harry, his dad, Justin, one of the sponsors, Signage Media UK, providing stream coverage here again. Fantastic for them to be a part of that one, and mind the rag. There is Alex Biles starting at the back once more. Hey, tell you what, it's been good practice for him starting at the back, because he's had all that practice of getting past everyone. Yeah, well, exactly. I mean, it's rare to have a novice start right at the back and be as quick as he is. So, not often do you see someone as a novice carve through and have that much overtaking practice, to be honest. But he seems to be right at home with this Rotax Max. So, with any luck, we'll see some more spectacular action from him, as well as Dan Jones, I'm sure. And the other protagonist in this race, do we say, is James Havisham as well. He's always making moves up the order. And as we're rounding out the boot now, I don't think there's going to be any false start here. I think we're going to... No, there is. I was almost jumping the gun as they were jumping the gun. What does simping mean? I think it's dangerous for us to talk about since we don't know what it is. Fine. Where have you seen that? I don't know what it means. Apparently I'm doing it a lot. Yeah, but I think we should... Before we look it up, I don't think we should talk about it. Should I dare Google it? Not while we're racing, I don't it could be dangerous. That's the problem, isn't it? Thank you to the people in the YouTube chat though for getting involved. It's not been distracting at all, that chat. I've been looking at it all day and I regret looking at it just then. There we go. Here we go then, final race of the day. Green flags out. It's time for Class 15 in towards that first chicane. Are they going to get through it? Ooh, steady. I think we're going to. Good stuff from the field. Nicely done, albeit the number 1 kicking the back end out as they exit. Dan Jones there at the back of the field, sliding through those orders. But a good start from the entirety of the field. Into the chicane we go. You can see there the number 7 of Henry Wardle holding on to that one in second place. I think he's moved up to now. But good start. Yeah, it was. And, it's sort of lining itself up to be a good race as well, I would say. Bit of action towards the background, but a good start at the front of the order, has to be said. Obviously, timing tower will appear on your screen in a minute. Ewan Syme has done a good job. Tom Raya has fallen right back down the order, really badly down the order. Joseph Wardle has fallen to the last place, unfortunately, as well. But this is Ewan Syme. This is for the 4th place, just trying to hold off James Havisham, who doesn't like to be held up. He likes to just get on with it. Yeah, that was a nice move there, down the inside at the hairpin. Gets that job done, moves up now into P4. Next person on his list will be Hayden Abrams, the number 8 on his screen. And there he is on your screen. You can just see him going through that shot there. The number 9 closing in as well. That's Harry Parr. Good running from him so far this weekend. You see the number 8 trying to get the inside. Oh, it looked like he was going to go straight into the back of Henry Wardle there. Didn't do it, but it just looked like it brakes a little bit later there, wasn't it? Yeah, you can be quite aggressive on the brakes, obviously, but that might hurt the exit. Quick in, slow out. You'd rather be slow in, quick out. At the end of the day, it's Henry Wardle setting the purple lap time there, the 48.1 in second place. Currently on your screens, actually, as well as Hayden Abrams, who has been forced out a couple of times this meeting so far in the previous heats. And who is that? That is
That is number 10. You can't quite see his screen, but you'll have to trust me. It's Joseph Wardle. So that's the reason why he dropped down to last place.
Just Googled simping. I don't like it.
No, I was going to say, I Googled it. That's why I missed the starting lap, to be honest.
There we go. Under 7 minutes to go. And like I say, yeah, Daniel Andrews leading the way. Good running at the moment at the front of this pack, and the rest of the order slotting in. Again, just line astern, holding on to it. Sort of no lunges in this one. Again, it's just the loo mode, isn't it? Everyone is just waiting for the race to get on. It's the first, every kart race that you see, it's really busy for the first lap. Then it all quietens down. They all get into a position that they're comfortable in, and then at the end of the race, that's when it all kicks off again. It's like, oh, I say that. Who was that running wide there? Was that Daniel Andrews going wide out of the left-hander? Was it? I think it was it? I don't know. I can't see the numbers.
Oh, contact with Hayden Abrams.
It was. So it was Daniel Andrews. Sorry, yeah, I say that. Daniel Andrews had a mistake out of the right hand. I was trying to confirm it in the Scott. So he's actually fallen backwards now. So Henry Lauder is now leading this race. It was a mistake from Andrews, which cost him the lead. And now, yeah, he's fallen back, and now he's joined this group here. So Hayden is now in the middle of this Daniel Andrews, James Havisham sandwich.
Yeah, I was actually looking. The reason why I was looking so intently at the monitor, you probably wondered what I was doing there, Anthony. It was actually because Hayden Abrams, look at the number 8 car. Does he have a hoodie on? Is there a hood coming out the backside of his?
No. So that is a neck brace.
Oh, is that part of a neck brace? Right.
Yes.
I was thinking that. I was like, one, how is he wearing a hoodie in this weather? And two, how has he been allowed out? But no, you're absolutely right. It's a neck brace.
It is the neck brace, yeah. It's a strange-looking neck brace,
yeah.
I'll give you that, but it is a neck brace nonetheless.
Not one that I haven't seen before, I'll be honest. But Henry Wardle, over taking that race lead, he'll be absolutely delighted.
Yes, exactly that. Fastest lap, though, is Daniel Andrews again across the line. Oh, apparently we've had reports that it is starting to rain out on the circuit. And that dark cloud that I pointed out earlier has taken its time and has come across the circuit. Something tells me it is only spitting out there. I don't think we're going to see anything major cause, but that is cause for concern. With 4.5 minutes to go, the rain has started to fall here at Fullbeck.
Yeah, exactly. And I said that it would be too long till it actually got here, but I'm going to blame the novices having that extra 5 minutes, because otherwise I would have been bang on the money. But you're right. How is that going to upset the apple cart? I don't think it's that wet out there, but it only takes a little sprinkle to upset these slick tyres, doesn't it?
Yeah.
The important thing is now that these drivers keep the heat in their tyres. That's going to be absolutely essential, because it's only going to spit, I imagine. I can't see any heavy rain anywhere around us. But Daniel Andrews, well, leading this race, made a mistake, slotted down to second place, but he's not giving it up.
No, exactly that. So, under 4 minutes to go, and Henry Wardle, Daniel Andrews, James Havisham are your top 3 at the moment. Through they go, the left-hander, now into the hairpin. 1, 2, 3, and Hayden Abrams there, just behind in that number 8 car, closing that gap in after he lost a bit of momentum. But again, that top 3 looking like a good run so far.
James Havisham is knocking on the door, and I tell you what, who's knocking on the door, he's absolutely belted it down, is Daniel Andrews. Henry Wardle just didn't really fancy defending that.
That's an insult, that one. What was that?
What? Bang, bang, banging on the door.
No, can't be having that. That's outrageous. It's outrageous. Got to get the puns in, though, I'll give you that.
I was going to say, I'm going to try. I have to try.
Yeah. I've got one for gearbox carts, but there's no gearbox carts.
That doesn't really help here.
It doesn't, but I've got a good one.
Have you just got a book full of puns?
My book. It's my book of puns. There we go. In shops at Christmas time. Get yours now. Kidding, I'm not writing a book full of puns. I think I might, actually.
It's a decent opportunity.
I got a good amount.
Oh, Henry Wardle's actually slipped down, actually, hasn't he? So we knew that Daniel Andrews went through, but Havisham has gone through as well. And I tell you what, if it stays like this, I think this is the only class today that hasn't had a double victor. Havisham is hoping to have that fact taken away from me and be a double victor here in the Class 15.
Yeah, you could be right, because, the 33 did take his win in the first heat. He started 10th, and, he's looking very strong here, because he's right on the tail end of Andrews now, who's back up into the lead after losing it earlier on with a mistake through that left-hander. But through they go in towards the penultimate corner, row 9 to 10, and back onto the start-finish straight. That nose cone with a very suspicious dent in the front of it as well, I have to say. On the front of, under braking there, almost lost the back end and went straight into the back of Havisham, or Andrews, sorry, I should say. That little mistake has allowed Wardle to close right back up again, hugging that inside line. Runs a little wide though, does Wardle. That's just given a bit of breathing space to Andrews again.
Yeah, that boot EV shaking there for James Havisham, unfortunately. He's managed to catch him back up already, though, hasn't he? It's only one corner and he's back at it.
I'm in disgust with that one as well. Terrible, terrible. They're getting better, though, I'll give you that one.
I'm new to this game, let me off.
Yeah, I'll let you off there. 1 minute to go then, out of the final corner, and it is still Andrews holding off the ever-fast Havisham. Oh, who's that off of the barriers? That's at the second hairpin. Yellow flags are out in that sector, and I can't see who it is who has gone off.
I think it was number 9.
I think it could be Harry Parr, because Harry Parr is slowly falling down the order on our screen. It's a huge shame. They're coming into that sector now, so yellow flags will be out. No overtakes.
He's got him back going, though, to be fair. He's going around the boot now, so...
Yeah, so... What? I was a bit confused about what happened there. We just lost someone, and everything's got a bit skew-earth. Yeah, there are two karts off. I can see the 73 is off. That is Alex Biles, who's off on the track. And then I think there's another one who's off. I can't quite see it.
Yeah, they were waving frantically to make sure that everybody could see that they were stuck, because they were pretty much on an apex. There we go. It's 73 you mentioned, and that's 30-something. Unfortunately, we can't quite see.
Is that Daniel Andrews?
It may well be. Daniel Andrews is falling down the order. It is Alex Biles and Daniel Andrews, the 34 car.
So, so a full course yellow is coming out. So I'm not sure, was that a lunge for the lead, potentially, that we were seeing? I think it is the 33 of James Havisham who's leading this race now. Hayden Abrams is now taken second place. I'm looking at the sky. I don't think it was rain that caused that. I did see a slippery surface flag out loom at one spot, but the Battenberg and full course yellow, it's all kicking off here.
Yeah, and start-finish gantry has got the checkered flag out, so we may finish in the full course yellow here. Can confirm that James Havisham is leading. Hayden Andrews in second place. Dan Jones in third. So the two race fixtures of the day so far. Oh, there we go. The full course yellow flag is back out. So let's get a bit of a mix-up here, unfortunately, right at the end. But we will try and clear it up as best we can.
Oh, it all went Pete-tong very quickly. Didn't it? It was, carnage all the way
throwing things at us right at the end of a long day.
Oh, I know.
So hard to keep up with.
We don't need this excitement at such a long day. There we go. Excitement at the beginning of the day, please. Next time. There we go. But out of the final corner, checkered flag has come out, and it is being brandished to James Havisham, the 33. Hayden Abrams crosses the line. Unfortunately, doesn't get an opportunity to try and overtake, as we were under the full course yellows, which is a huge shame. So the race is going checkered flag under the full course yellow conditions. Dan Jones, though, what a recovery for him, because he finished that race P3. Henry Wardle crosses in fourth place, the number 7. Then it's Ewan Syme in 5th place, Josh Neve in 6th, Matthew Lewin in 7th place, Cameron Bott in 8th, Joe Webb in 9th, and Caden Bott round out the top 10. Then it's Tom Rea, Harry Parr, Daniel Andrews, Alex Biles, Andrew King, and Joseph Wardle. They are the top 16. And of course, we lost Daniel Andrews, we lost Alex Biles, we lost Andrew King, we lost Joseph Wardle as well. So 4 retirements from that race. Indeed, Class 15 about to make their way to the circuit. 18, hopefully, karts are going to be heading out onto the track. It's race 27 of the weekend, and Andrew King will be starting on pole position with Max Humphrey-Cooper alongside, and Max is hopefully here as well because, of course, his quarantine will have ended and he's now allowed to be at the circuit, so he should be here, and he's starting on the front row for his first race. Josh Neve and Joe Webb on row number 2, Harry Parr and James Havisham I don't believe is going to be racing out in this one. Then it is Joseph Wardle. Kate Hodgson, also a driver who was not here yesterday, has now shown up and is here, hopefully, in 8th place in the number 20. Dan Jones, Ewan Syme. Then it's Matthew Lewin and Daniel Andrews, I believe, also is not here. Cameron Bott, then it's Tom Raya, Caden Bott, Hayden Abrams, and then Henry Wardle and Alex Biles round out the grid of 18 cars. So there they are, lined up on the front. You can see Max Humphrey Cooper there, who wasn't here yesterday, but was watching the stream and was very happy that he got a shout out that one. And he's back here racing, fresh out of quarantine in that lovely liveried kart. There's the 18 of Andrew King from Barnwell, again, lined up ready. He's looking cool, calm and collected there. The 14 on your screen, Joe Webb for Barnwell as well. You know, he's having a good run from that one. He's had a good weekend so far. There is the number 3 of Josh Neve. Josh again had a good race, had a 3rd place finish in heat number 1. There's the number 10, again another interesting seating position, Joseph Wardle. There is the number 8, I believe there's the number 1, Dan Jones. He had a race win in yesterday and a 2nd place yesterday as well, so looking very quick this weekend. Number 20 on your screen, Kate Hodgson, again, a driver who wasn't here yesterday but has made the appearance today. Very good to see. There we go, you can see there, the other drivers there, lined up. 35 of Matthew Lewin. There is the number 5 of Ewan Syme, gives us a nice big thumbs up there. The 71, Tom Raya. Very bright blue suit, would be mistaken for a blue flag if he's not careful. Oh, he's got sunglasses under that helmet, I see. What a cool is that? There you go.
Cool cats there lining up the back of the grid.
Yeah, exactly that. The number 8 on your screen now, Hayden Abrams. Again, more sunglasses there. Again, they're like the sun is there out there. Okay, cheap pair of sunglasses. Cheaper than an advisor, isn't it? Nice little wave there from number 7, Henry Wardle. So, again, looking at the back of the grid and rounding out the field, Alex Biles, who is starting at the back for all of these, because he is the only novice in this class, so he is starting at the back of all of these races. But, yeah, that kart looking absolutely tremendous for Sam Pollock Racing. And, you know, he's had a good weekend so far, I have to say. You know, he's had a 2nd place finish in Heat 1. It was a 3rd place finish in Heat 2. Didn't finish on the podium in Heat 3 because he had a collision at the chicane and unfortunately didn't finish heat number 3 and went through on that one. But they are all lining themselves up. I think the last couple of cuts are just getting themselves lined up. But this is always an exciting race for us, isn't it?
Yeah, the Rotax is the highest powered engine that we've got here. It is always quite fun. We do have a few absentees, but they've been replaced with fantastic drivers. Katie Hodgkinson as well, and Max Humphrey Cooper, as you mentioned. I think his Barclay team leader came up to us yesterday and said he loved the fact that Max was getting a mention on the stream, even though he wasn't there. And, well, starting at the front, he's very much hoping to probably get even more mentions throughout the rest of the day as well. However, we have been reliably informed that although he starts on the front row in this particular race, he will be about 18th and 17th in the next 2 races.
Yeah, he's got a lot of work later on.
He's got a lot of work to do. But to be fair, Alex Biles has been doing that kind of work all weekend, haven't we? And if you look at Alex Biles in the overall sort of weekend championship, he's currently sitting 7th. And the only reason for that is because he had that spin, so he's carrying the 18 points that he carried. If you took that away and counted that as a drop round, and let's say he finished in the top 5 for the last 3 races of the day, he's looking at starting from the back of the grid to be finishing in the top 3, which is quite incredible when you really break it down and think about it. So looking forward to seeing how that pans out. And then Josh Neve as well, he's currently leading the way in this weekend championship.
Exactly that. So, the final heat of Heat 4 is about to get underway, and it's Class 15, the Rotax class, the 2-stroke. The mist is about to disappear as the revs rise and green flag goes out, and in towards turn 1 they go, side by side. And you can see defensive straight away goes the number 4 of Max Humphrey Cooper as they go through. No contact in the midfield or the back of the field as well. Everyone slots through. Good start from the entirety of the field as they go round in towards turn 2 there. You can see the 14 in 3rd place, I should say. Joe Webb has managed to move up 1 position. Already a contact warning going out to Tom Raya in the number 71 and 11th place.
Yeah, I was just wondering, we can quite see where that Tom Rayer incident happened, but hopefully it didn't actually incur anybody to fall off the track. As a wide goes the front man, I think that was. Just trying to have a look at Matthew Lewin getting a warning as well. Number 4 is Max Humphrey Cooper trying to force his way back into the lead, obviously starting on that front row of the grid. And really, hustling his car around to try and take advantage as soon as he possibly can. He hasn't been able to do any testing, any of the heats. He's fresh to Fullbeck this weekend, but he's already slotted into the race lead around the outside of turn 1.
Yeah, it was very good there. You could see the 18 of Andrew King went defensive in towards that turn 1 chicane.
Oh.
That just allowed Max Humphrey Cooper to go round the outside. So good stuff from there. And like you say, a little bit of contact a little further back. Everyone on the straight and narrow gets through cleanly. So as they go through, the number 3, Josh Neve, has moved up into 3rd place now as well, but has had to concede another place there. And the 18 there in 2nd place, Andrew King, under no pressure from behind, in a very small no man's land at the moment. Oh, spin in the mid pack there. The 20 went round, and that of course collected the 71 as well. So Kate Hodgson has gone round, and Tom Rayer as well gone round at the turn 6 hairpin.
Yeah, luckily they kept going, didn't they? None of them got bogged down or anything like that, so we still got all the runners that we started with. I believe Matthew Lewin got that contact warning, but he's actually slipped down all the way to last place. As I say that, yeah, there we go. Tom Rayer, Katie Hodgkinson and Cameron Bott have actually slipped down after that incident. But the number 3 car going through, Josh Neve, obviously took he's leading the weekend championship without actually winning a race. He's only got 1 podium, amazingly. So very consistent there. Down to the penalties, which we'll discuss in a couple of minutes. Dan Jones looking to try and take advantage up the inside there. It's going to be a difficult move to carry the momentum on the outside, which he doesn't manage to do.
Right, there we go. So after a couple of laps of racing, they nearly have calmed down. They've calmed down at the front, but they haven't calmed down here, because who's that coming through? Is that Mr. Biles, Alex Biles, and that 73 car? It is indeed. He's managed to get a good run already from the back of the field up in towards P7 across the line now with 6.5 minutes to go out of the first chicane. Great running from him so far, because he's got Dan Jones just in front as well, next on his list. We'll have to keep an eye on that one, because those two are incredibly quick drivers. As they go through then, with 6 minutes to go, let's have a look at the order. Max Humphrey Cooper, who wasn't here yesterday, leading the way at the moment in the number 4. Andrew King in the 18th, 2nd place. Then it's Josh Neve, Ewan Syme, Dan Jones, Joe Webb, Alex Biles, Harry Parr, Caden Bott, and Henry Wardle. They're the top 10. Then it's Hayden Abrams, Joseph Wardle, Matthew Lewin, Tom Rayer, Kate Hodgson, and Cameron Bott. That rounds out the 16 cars out there at the moment. 6 minutes to go. He's still at the front here.
Yeah, Max, he was loving the fact he was getting a shout-out. He's getting more than a shout-out here. He's getting some good camera time as well on the live stream, because he is in the lead of this race. But Andrew King has not gone down without a fight. Lost out the race lead around the outside. A great move, it has to be said by Max. But Andrew's not having any of it. And as we shoot back here towards Alex Biles and who is it? Ewan Syme. So that must mean Dan Jones has gotten past you at some point on this lap already, and I think Alex Biles is going through potentially. No, you can't quite see it there. So top 5 slightly. There we go. There, Alex Biles going at the inside of that hairpin. Yep,
good little move there. So moving up those orders. Did have the fastest lap as he last crossed the line, 46.9 from Alex Biles. But still there in 5th place, I believe, at the moment. Now they head down the start-finish straight, under 5 minutes to go. Eyes on that front pack as well, as Max Humphrey Cooper still leading the way, but has got the pressure a little further behind. As you can see there, the 73 now released and has now got the clean air to try and catch up to the back of this lead group. And when that lead group starts battling, you can definitely say that they're going to start getting a bit nose to tail very swiftly in the next couple of minutes.
Yeah, you can imagine, can't you? Just look at the attitude of that 73 car. He just flicks it in, plants the power, and it's on rails, isn't it? As soon as he plants the power and he's got the nose pointed into the corner, just plant the power and it's just going dead straight, straightening up the car really nicely. It's all how these top drivers are driving it, and you'll know better than I do, Anthony, about how to drive these cars quickly. But there's a little nudge there by Dan Jones on the number 3, Josh Neve. Maybe that's just suggesting that Josh Neve move out of the way. I'm coming through.
Yeah, there we go. A little hand gesture as well, just saying, come on, let's work together now. Let's catch up to that group in front of us. Let's not battle too hard. Just kind of follow through there and see what we can do. So back here at the front. Dan Jones, good pace at the moment and good pressure as he closes in on those two up at the front. Like I say, Andrew King lost the lead, but he's definitely not lost momentum because he's still right there behind Max Humphrey-Cooper as they go through. The number 4, who wasn't here yesterday, he was isolating. His isolation ended at midnight last night, and he was straight in the car and on his way here. And he's putting in a stellar performance so far in his first heat. Of course, started on the first row, did Max Humphrey-Cooper. All under pressure here. Down the inside goes the number 1. Dan Jones on Andrew King. Gets that job done. Thank you very much. I'll take that one. Closes that gap now up to Max Humphrey-Cooper. This race is definitely not over, and what a late lunge that was, Dan Jones. I wasn't expecting it to happen so soon, but Dan Jones straight away to the lead, and I think that caught out Max Humphrey-Cooper as well.
Yeah, I think he was on 5. That wasn't it. Next day delivery on that set, straight up the inside into turn number 2. And a great move accomplished there by Dan Jones. Tell you what, it's important as well because he had some quick drivers chasing him down, and now he's got some quick drivers still chasing him down, but he's got track position, which is crucial. About 3 minutes left. We just saw the timing go from about 2 minutes 30 to 3 minutes. Not sure what happened there, but I do think it is 3 minutes. So Dan Jones promoted 2 places on that lap into first. Max Humphrey-Cooper into second. Andrew King still in third. Alex Biles in fourth. You can just see him there, just about able to see over his steering wheel and nose cone, and absolutely flicking the car through. And I think Andrew King probably is, if he looks behind him, he'll probably have a little bit of a fright that Alex has managed to get that far up with still 2 minutes left to go.
Yeah, exactly that. So, with 2 minutes to go, Dan Jones is your new race leader, and that's a retirement there. It's the number 10 who's been pushed off. It's Joseph Wardle. That's a disaster for Joseph. Yellow flags, of course, will be out in that sector, so no overtaking, which is a shame for the rest of the field. But as they go through, and like we say, Dan Jones leading the way from Max Humphrey-Cooper. A change potentially for third place as Alex Biles moves now up into P3. Andrew King slowly moving down the order now in towards P4. Then it's Josh Neve in 5th place, even Simon 6th, Harry Parr, Henry Wardle, Joe Webb in 9th, and Hayden Abrams in 10th place. They're your top 10. So as they go through, 90 seconds left on the lead timer. Eyes on the 73 novice driver Alex Biles because he's slowly moving through this grid.
He is indeed. He's already got into the podium positions, into third place, because he managed to get past Andrew King, and it's just a pace off the last corner that is really hurting Andrew King. I don't know if his engine's got a little bit of a problem with low ends, or Alex Biles is just absolutely flying. There's a little bit of touch and rubbing. Rubbing is waiting at the end of the day, and I think the number 4, Max Humphrey-Cooper, was quite all right with the amount of contact that was made there, because he was just forcing Alex Biles to think twice about maybe coming for the move as he goes a little bit deep. Does the number 4 of Max. He's already going defensive into the hairpin to make sure to cover off that attack by Alex. But Alex is looking very racy here. 1.7 second gap between Dan Jones and Max, and that's only going to be extended because Max has done nothing but defensive driving on this lap so far. Alex looking up the inside into the left-hander there again. It's very difficult to overtake through the left because you're instantly on the outside for the right, but that doesn't stop Alex Biles lunging up the inside. A great send there into the hairpin, and I think that means that Max Humphrey-Cooper, who is dreaming of a race victory, is maybe going to lose out even on second place here, and he's going to have a problem with third if Andrew King's got anything to say about it.
Well, potentially so. 15 seconds left on the timer. Last lap board will be out this time, so for any moves that want to be happening, it wants to be happening very swiftly, I will say. Doesn't look like it's going to be enough time for Alex Biles to close that gap up potentially to Dan Jones, as that's opened up now to 3.48 seconds, so it's all going to be down to what can happen now here for third place. Max Humphrey-Cooper under increasing pressure from the 18 of Andrew King. He got past him earlier on today for the race lead. Now he needs to get back past him for potentially a third place spot on the podium. As they go through now turn 6 and 7, as they exit through, no positions gained or lost. Bit of a look over the shoulder there from Biles. Biles then slots back into position, carries on, and look at that. Humphrey-Cooper looking very racy there as he's wanting to take maybe this position back swiftly. Last lap board goes out to Dan Jones. Ring the dinner bell because it's about to kick off.
It is indeed. Dan Jones leading by about 4.3 seconds over the line then from Alex Biles, who is holding off rather substantially, I would say. Max Humphrey-Cooper, in fact, he's not holding off. He doesn't even have to worry about it at the moment. It did look like Max had an opportunity around the boot section to maybe put Alex into a little bit of pressure, but I think he went a little bit too deep, got a bit keen on the inside of the right hand there, maybe Ruben just run out of the corners, which didn't quite help him. But it's been a sensational drive from last on the field to second. However, the driver we've got to really focus on, to be fair as well, and give credit to the name, is Dan Jones, who has been absolutely sensational in this race. Hasn't really been touched. As soon as he got into the race lead, he's been putting in quick times, and it's going to be the checkered flag taken by Dan Jones in the number 1 car. Alex Biles comes across the line to take second place. Josh Neve got a curb warning in the end there, but only a warning, I think. Max Humphrey Cooper, well, it's a podium. It's not quite the dream start Max was potentially hoping for to the weekend, but it is still a fantastic podium, as he has only turned up about 8 hours ago.
Yeah, exactly that. A good race nonetheless, and good results all the way through the field, as well as the rest of the grid slots through. So it was Dan Jones, Alex Biles, Max Humphrey Cooper, Andrew King, Josh Neve, Henry Wardle, Ewan Syme, Harry Parr, Hayden Abrams, Joe Webb, Matthew Lewin, Caden Bott, Kate Hodgson, Cameron Bott, Tom Rayner, and Joseph Wardle crossing the line. Your prediction was correct.
I thought it was going to be novices all of a sudden.
No, it wasn't novices. No. It is indeed Class 15. They're going to be taking to the track now. It's the Rotax class. It's the fastest group. It's the biggest group. And this is how they're going to line up. Ewan Syme on the front row with Katie Hodgkinson alongside James Habersham and Daniel Andrews. Of course, James Habersham, don't believe, is here. So the 33, there'll be a clear spot on that third place spot. Hayden Abrams and Joseph Wardle round out the top 3 rows. Caden Bott, Cameron Bott, Henry Wardle and Harry Parr on the next 2 rows. Then it's Dan Jones and Joe Webb on the next row. Then Andrew King, Josh Neve, Max Humphrey Cooper. Great running in his first show earlier on, but now he's got a bit of work to do to try and close that gap up here. Matthew Lewin as well, been really quick today. He's got a lot of work. Tom Raya in the 71 and Alex Biles as well in the 18. As well, Daniel Andrews, the 34, also not here at the moment as well. I did call him out on the grid. There's the number 5. Ewan Syme from Tarporley had a great running so far today. Yeah, cameraman very swiftly decides that, I'm not going to stand there. No, yeah, good decision.
Yeah, the highest powered grid will probably stand out the way of it.
Yeah, exactly that. The Rotax scream into life, make their way out onto the circuit, and we're going to get this race underway. So again, for the folks at home, if you are supporting anyone in this class, get your comments in. We'd like to know who you're supporting as they head through. Who's it going to be on this one? Of course, the number 5 on the front row on this one has not had a podium so far as I can recall, as the rest of the field go through. It's been a tough old running for everyone out here, but we'll see what we can do. What can Jones do in that number 1? He won the previous race. Can he copy that in this one? He's got a bit of work to do in that mid-pack. He's got the company of Henry Wardle just in front of him as well, and that Gillard chassis as they exit turn number 1. The dark clouds loom in the distance. Green flags out. Away we go in towards turn 1 and into the braking zone. Everyone gets through cleanly, do they? Ooh, bit of a jostling and jumping around, but no major contact, and lovely stuff. Well done.
Yeah, indeed. I thought you said that a little bit prematurely there, but you're absolutely bang on the money. Everything got through. Dan Jones, one to keep an eye out for. He started in 9th position, and he's currently leading the weekend, so got to keep an eye out for him. Alex Biles, second of the weekend. We mentioned him a lot. He's starting from the back of the grid as per usual, but right now we've got to focus slightly further forward because there are some fantastic drivers doing some brilliant things right at the front as well, gaining a little bit of a gap as all the drivers come through, and in fact a flash of intrepid looking colours, to be honest, going through as a squeeze wide there by the number 8 of Hayden Abrams, is in second place at the moment. But look at that, the number 5 absolutely screaming away with it for the moment, Ewan Syme. Yep, great start there. Someone falling down the order, Joseph Wardle, the number 10, has dropped down into 15th place, so I'm not sure what's happened there. But down the inside goes the number 1 on the 20. Ooh, a little bit of contact in the background there. We saw the 20 and the 7 get a little bit squirrely on the exit, but they all get through. No one in the barriers to report, and everyone's still hunky-dory and racing away. 7.5 minutes to go, and all is well. The number 5, Ewan Syme, leading the way from Hayden Average and Katie Hodgkinson. Again, missed yesterday. Isolating, midnight struck,
the bell rang, and into the car and off they came.
I love the fact that I reckon they were in there waiting, counting down till midnight, in their car, waiting to be like, right, we're free, we can go. We can go and get set up. Oh, huge slide there into the corner by Ewan Syme. I mean, I know you're supposed to get the back end a touch out maybe under braking to try and point the car in, but that looked like a bit of an over-dramatic there. Is the number 1 of Dan Jones is trying to make his way forward. Now, crucially, the only 2 drivers realistically in with a shout of winning this weekend is Dan Jones and Alex Biles. And Jones just, all he needs to do is get to the front before Biles does. Biles starts right at the back at every single race, and Jones knows that. Just carve through the order as quickly as possible and try and pick up some good points.
No, exactly that. 7 minutes left on the timer. Furiously looking over the shoulder is Ewan Syme. He's got the immense pressure now. Building and building. The elastic band is about to be betwanged, and I reckon we're going to see some great battles in just a moment. Defensive now goes Ewan Syme. Look at that. Dan Jones follows as well. He's going to try go for a move down the inside there. Can't quite do it. Slams the door, does Hayden Abrams. And that allows Henry Wardle as well and that number 7 to come closer as well. But pulling out of the slipstream and diving to the inside. Good move there. Dan Jones gets the job done in turn 2.
Yeah, that was a very late lunge as well, wasn't it? He didn't exactly telegraph that in the slightest, but it's a great, still an awesome move. The top 4 really have pulled away slightly. Henry Wardle is the back of this little pack. Katie Hodgkinson, as we said, not turned up for the entirety of the weekend until today. Currently leading the rest of the field, so we say, in 5th place with Caden Bott, Josh Neve, Max Humphrey Cooper, again, just turning up today.
Indeed. Dan Jones now taking the lead out of the final corner across the line. 6 minutes to go, but it's all heating up a little bit further behind this top 4 for the top 5 spot. Katie Hodgkinson has got a train forming behind her with Josh Neve, Alex Biles and Caden Bott, with of course Alex Biles starting at the back of the grid in 18th spot, already up to 7th place in that number 73 as well. Max Humphrey Cooper as well, 9th place in that number 4. Great running from him. He's right behind, and here is that battle. The number 3 leading the spot on that one, so it's Josh Neve who's got to the front there, and Alex Biles who's slotted in behind as well. What happened to Kate Hodgkinson? She's fallen back slightly there. The number 20 you can see a little bit further behind, but there again the number 4 of Max Humphrey Cooper has moved up several positions once more as well, and they need to get to the front of this pack, work together and try to get to the front, because if they keep battling away they're not going to get anywhere near the front 4, only with 5 minutes to go.
Yeah, I think Mr. Biles will probably be putting his hand up saying that I am probably best equipped to try and get to the front based on the previous finishing positions and the pace that he's been shown. And in fact, there we go, straight through before he even really gets into the first corner. Now, free air, 5 minutes to go. What can he do?
Exactly that. Well, with 4.5 minutes to go, 5 laps completed. Let's have a quick rundown of the order then. Dan Jones leading the way from Ewan Syme, Henry Wardle, Hayden Abrams, Josh Neve, Alex Biles, Max Humphrey Cooper, Caden Bott in the 8th place, and it's Katie Hodgkinson and Andrew King. That's the top 10. Joe Webb, Harry Parr, Matthew Lewin, Cameron Bott, Tom Rea and Joseph Wardle round out the next group of karts. Only 16 out on circuit at the moment. You can see all the drivers bobbing up and down to try and get momentum. Tyre smoke coming off the 2 of them as they close the door into the hairpin. Who was that? It was the number 20. That's Kate Hodgkinson there slamming the door, and Andrew King saying, oh, you're not having that position yet, sunshine.
Yeah, exactly. Like a cold caller turning up to your house, just slam the door straight in their face.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely no need for any of that kind of distraction and nonsense. As the number 9 kart even goes at the inside, it's Harry Parr, obviously. His father is Signage Media UK, one of our fantastic sponsors that has enabled us to live stream this brilliant event. So if you are thoroughly enjoying it, go and check out Signage Media UK for all your sign and media needs.
Well, there you go. Good plug there.
I know.
Well done.
Nice little sway in.
Put you in my bathtub anytime for a good plug. There you go.
No, please don't do that.
3.5 minutes then on the timer, and yeah, on your screens there, the number 20 and the number 9 of Harry Parr and Kate Hodgkinson having a fearsome battle through the boot. They go out of the final corner. Harry Parr having a excellent sort of weekend. Has been good, consistent sort of positions all the way throughout. It's had a tough weekend. Oh, under braking there. You just saw, I think that was Joe Webb or Matthew Lewin in the 35, I think it was, in the green helmet. Yes, it was. Getting very sideways. You can see the 14 of Joe Webb trying to go to the inside here. Bit of contact with Kate Hodgkinson, but Harry Parr gets through, gets that job done. And the very optimistic Joe Webb thought he was going to squeeze through as well.
Oh, I'll tell you what, they are getting a little bit tasty here, aren't they? It's worth noting Harry Wardle has overtaken Ewan Syme to 2nd place as well, so there's a little bit of change in the front of the order. But you can understand why our camera people are trying their best to capture what's in front of us here, because this battle for what is in essence the top 10 sort of thing is absolutely heating up.
Yes, it is indeed. An update at the front, of course, as well. Dan Jones is still leading the way. He's opened that gap up to 4.8 seconds from Henry Wardle. Ewan Syme has been pushed down into third place. Hayden Abrams, contact at the chicane. And one of the karts straight off. Was that Kate Hodgkinson, the 20? I think it was, yes. Katie Hodgkinson is in the wall after contact at turn 1. Barriers need some repair. Marshals are attending to the driver at the moment. I'm not sure whether or not the full course yellow flag will come out, but local yellows at the moment to slow everyone down. But yeah, there it is on your screen. Looking like a little bit of discomfort there for Katie, but the marshalling team swiftly on the scene. 1.5 minutes left to go, and I am seeing a red flag. So a red flag has been called to an injured driver at the first chicane, turn 1. It is Kate Hodgkinson, so we'll obviously give you an update as and when we know anything. But yeah, there we go. It's been a good weekend so far. We've not had a red flag. It is the first red flag of the weekend. So, you know, up until now, it's been incredibly close but clean racing so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's always a bit difficult to get through an entire weekend without a red flag. I think we've done fantastically well. I think the marshals were over nice and quickly as well. The red flag were chucked out nice and quickly as well. So the drivers, I think, I'm not sure how long is left, to be honest, but I would imagine the drivers will probably stop just before the pit lane. In fact, that's where they're being signalled to be stopping, just before the pit lane, in case they do need to be brought in and the race needs to be concluded there, and then hopefully it won't come to such things. But those are the sort of precautions we've got to take. Obviously, the driver safety is paramount.
Oh, it is indeed. So, medical team obviously on site and dealing with that almost straight away. Class 15 will make their way onto the circuit in just a moment, and it's the one a lot of people have been waiting for. And this is how they're going to be lining up for their final race of the weekend. Harry Parr on the front row with Dan Jones alongside Joseph Wardle and Andrew King on row number 2, with Josh Neve and Caden Bott on row number 3. Matthew Lewin, Tom Rea, Joe Webb, Kate Hodgkinson, and Harry Wardle and Daniel Andrews, again, not here, that 34, in 12th place. Hayden Abrams, then is James Havisham, again not here at the moment. Cameron Bott on the 15th spot on the grid. Then it's Max Humphrey Cooper, Ewan Syme, and Alex Biles on row 18. Or on the 18th spot, not row 18. Again, it'd be in 70th spot if it was on row 18. Roughly about that.
I was going to say,
that's terrible maths.
It's the first time, you know, that I've actually made the link between the bots, Cameron, Caden, and Lachlan. Yeah, must be some kind of relation there.
I'm guessing so.
Yeah, it's a small paddock, so I would be impressed if it wasn't. There's Dan Jones on your screen, currently leading the way. However, we haven't actually got the full results from heat number 5 because they're actually still debating some of the penalties. So I can't actually give you a full, even provisional result.
Well, there we go. There is Harry Parr in the number 9. Again, huge thanks to his dad, Justin, one of the sponsors for Signage Media UK. Of course, providing some of the sponsorship money for this one. There's the number 10, Joseph Wardle, the 32, Caden Bott. And the rest of them slide on through as they all avoid the cameraman as they go through. Back onto the track now. This is where it gets spicy. This is where it gets interesting. This is where it gets smoky.
Any other adjectives?
There's probably many
making
more.
me hungry.
Yeah.
But no, it's I mean, the Class 15. Probably the most impressive to watch, isn't it? Purely because it's the highest power, got a great noise behind it as well, and the racing has been top-notch as well. So they have been a little bit naughty here and there, which is why they have got the penalties to be sort of being dished out. So I haven't even got the results for Heat 5, as I said, so I won't even be able to give you any kind of provisional results for the last race here this evening. But of course, this is the last race of the Nationals. Big thank you to everybody who's been tuning in, and I hope you enjoy the Class 15.
Let's hope they enjoy the Class 15 because it's the fastest group out there. You can see the mechanics rushing to view the start of the race. And here we go. Green flag out. Final race of the weekend here at Nationals at Fullbeck. In towards turn 1, side by side into the braking zone of turn 1. Spin at the front, and it's all gone P-tong here into the first corner. Several karts involved, but a lot can get going again. Local yellows and a couple of barriers that need moving, but we have got a retirement because the car has had to come out, and I can't quite see the number there. It is the 18. That's Andrew King. 4th place he started, and that's a huge shame.
That is a massive shame. Yeah, Harry Parr managed to get just ahead of Dan Jones. Crucially, we haven't stuck a full course yellow, but because these karts are so quick, they will be round to the incident sooner rather than later. So we have got yellows at the 2 marshal posts leading up to the incident. Hopefully that is enough to slow them all down. I think we've just about got that car off the circuit, so I think we'll be okay. Harry Parr leading the way then, ahead of Dan Jones, who looks likely to win this Nationals. It's likely, as I said, because I'm not entirely sure on how the points stand up for this particular race. Contact warning for Josh Neve, who's currently in 3rd place. Wide out the corner goes Harry Parr. That's allowed Dan Jones to have a little sniff and a nibble, and he's taken more than that. He's taken a big fat chunk.
Yes, he has, and taken the lead there. So at the end of lap number 1, Dan Jones now leads the way. Ooh. And look at that, Josh Neve, the number 3, dives to the inside, moves up now into P2 and gets the job done there. And the rest of the field slot through. There is Max Humphrey Cooper. He's moved up quite a few positions as well there in a good spot. There's Harry Parr as well in that position. In now 3rd place. So as they go through into the braking zone once more, there's the 35, Matthew Lewin. He's had a good running so far this weekend. I think he had, did he have a race win earlier? No, I don't think he did, but he's had good runnings, he's had good positions all the way throughout, although he's been slightly nerfed out wide there by the number 7 of Henry Wardle. As they go into the braking zone of the chicane. Look at that, the 73. Alex Biles already up into P6.
Yeah, it's been the Alex Biles show, hasn't it, whenever we really cut to this. And as Fee just gets throws in again, it almost confused me with another stalled Dan Jones there, but luckily not.
No,
not at all. So, yeah, this is going to be an interesting one. If Biles can get through, I want to see if he can catch up to Dan Jones and give us a bit of a spectacular showdown here in the last 5 minutes. But it's going to take some doing as he's trying to get past Max Humphrey Cooper, very quick driver, has only been able to turn up today. And I can say, actually, a big relief, because we had a red flag last race. Katie Hodgkinson out there
is
racing.
Out on circuit,
so
yeah.
Big news, Katie Hodgkinson, good enough to get out there racing, which means I'm sure she's absolutely fine.
Yes, yeah, which is excellent news, despite her crash at the first chicane. She is back out and racing. Footballers, please take note. There we go. 6 minutes then remaining on the timer, and Dan Jones leading the way comfortably now, opening that gap up to 2.1 seconds as they exit out of the boot into the final corner. Alex Biles again trying to find a way through past Max Humphrey Cooper. Can't quite do it as they exit the final corner, pulls out of the slipstream in towards turn 1, gets it done under braking though. Nice job, nice work, moves up now in towards P number 3 and hunting down the number 3 of Josh Neve. Here's a little look further back as well, that's Harry Parr, the number 9, as well under a little bit of pressure from Matthew Lewin, but also piling on the pressure himself onto Wardle in front, and that number 7 as they go into the second chicane now. No lunges here, a little bit of back end kicking out, lost a bit of time there, did Parr. But we'll be fighting to get that one back ASAP. 5 minutes, 20 seconds to go, and it's all kicking off.
It is indeed, and I just have to say, I know we've gone on about Alex Biles a lot, but his acceleration out the corner, I'm sure it's sensational, to be honest, and I'm sure there's a lot of technique involved, but Alex, he looks light, shall I say. In the kart, you can tell his head is a lot lower than a lot of other drivers' heads. You can even see there just where the iridium visor sits as they're coming towards you, and that helps, that lightness helps as you get out of a corner. You know, it's a powerful engine, and the lighter you are, the sort of more you can push out of the corner, the quicker acceleration you get. So Alex absolutely flying here and already hunkered up behind the number 3 of Josh Neve. There's a 4-second gap after this. Is he a second quicker a lap than Dan Jones? I'm not sure.
Well, he's gone past now Josh Neve and is on the way to try and catch up. 4.5 seconds in 4 minutes. Let's see if it can be done. But now we've got Max Humphrey Cooper all over the back of Josh Neve as well as they go past the start-finish line. Under braking, Josh Neve again, slightly defensive there as they entered. Again, that slows him down on that main straight as well. That has allowed Humphrey Cooper to close that gap right up as they go out of there. Now you say, now look, there you go. You see Josh Neve, he's seen that Humphrey Cooper is behind him and he said, right, again, don't overtake me, let's work together and try and catch up to this group behind. Is he going to listen? Yet to be seen. Let's find out. No is the answer, because defensive goes Josh Neve. So even though Josh Neve was the one who said, come on, let's go, hunker down, he also was the person who went defensive first.
Clearly not trusting the driver behind him, is he? Maybe Max was showing signs that he wasn't really keen on listening. And to be honest, are they going to catch Dan Jones and are they going to catch Alex Biles? Maybe not. History of the last 6 races maybe says that they're not going to, so they might as well fight amongst each other. And a huge barn door opening there for Josh Neve, who has been defending for the past lap or 2 on Max. Just leaves it quite completely open.
Yeah, there we go. If I was Max now, I'd be saying to Josh, right, now, you follow me.
Yeah, exactly. Let's get going.
Yeah, now let's get going. No, I'm happier now. There we go. So good stuff from Max Humphrey Cooper. Moving now up into P3 and on that podium position. And we have got a post-it note. What does that say? You're going to be dealing with that one. Excellent. I'll leave you to that one. 2 minutes 40 seconds left on the timer. Dan Jones leading the way then by 5.6 seconds from Alex Biles. Then it's Josh Neve. No, it's not. It's Max Humphrey Cooper. Then it's Josh Neve. Then Henry Wardle. Then it's Harry Parr. Then it's Matthew Lewin, Ewan Syme, Hayden Abrams. Then it's Joe Webb, Katie Hoskinson in 11th place, Caden Bott, Cameron Bott, Tom Raya. Then it's Joseph Wardle and Andrew King, the 16 karts out on circuit at the moment. We are watching the battle here on screen for 3rd place. Max Humphrey Cooper and Josh Neve as they go through. And it is still nose to tail. Josh Neve not allowing Max any room.
Yeah, I think Dan Jones has pretty much got this sewn up as long as he doesn't have some big DNF now or anything like that. Henry Wardle touching wood. Yes, all right, I'll touch.
That's a huge commentator's curse, that is.
Yeah, I know. I apologise, Dan, if it comes off. Henry Wardle and Josh Neve, however, for 2nd place, he's getting quite tight for those two. So at the moment, obviously, Josh is ahead of Henry, but that battle may well erupt into life. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, Dan Jones has done a smashing job over the entire weekend. His race 1 wasn't so hot, but apart from that, he's had 3 race wins and a 2nd place to his name. So a good job by Dan Jones.
Yes, it is indeed. So as they go through, just under 90 seconds to go, and my ears deceive me of an exhaust coming loose because I hear one that's going slightly louder than the rest.
I mean, I'm trying to listen, but I can't quite hear one, I have to be honest.
I thought I heard one, but there we go. Maybe I'm going mad.
Oh, there's every possibility of that happening. Alex Biles, actually, he might actually pip 2nd place. It's going to be very tight, I have to say.
It could be indeed. Less than a minute to go then.
I'm not going to try and throw the provisionals out there, but there are less than a minute to go. You're absolutely right. Plus the lap of the final race of the Nationals, the 50th anniversary. It's been a massive event. Big thank you to everybody who's tuned in on the live stream. First ever time live streaming it. All the legacy drivers and the people who was involved in it throughout the years. I hope you've enjoyed the weekend. I know everybody here has. We've absolutely loved it. I think, Anthony, you've enjoyed it as well.
Oh, I thoroughly enjoyed it. Yeah, it's my first time here with the NATSKA family, and I have to say I've been
welcomed with open arms.
Yeah, welcomed with open arms. It's been absolutely amazing. Yeah, there is your race leader, Dan Jones, the number 1 plate, going through the turn 2 section, and there is 2nd place, Alex Biles, the 73, has not been able to respond. And I think it's actually Alex Biles' exhaust is getting a little bit louder than the rest of them, but it's still clearly firmly attached, so nothing to worry about. It just sounds a little bit louder, that's all. There we go, as they go through, and the timer ticks over to 0, so the last lap board will come out this time to Dan Jones for the final time here for Class 15. The last lap board goes out, there it is, and cool, calm, collected, nothing to worry about. He's had stressful other races, but then come the last race of the weekend, it's all calm.
He's absolutely loving life, isn't he? He knows full well, he's seen that last lap board. All he needs to do is get round this lap, and he's got a national championship under his belt for Class 15. One of the higher classes, one of the more prestigious classes here in NATSKA. Obviously, one of the most populated classes as well. So it is a massive achievement. for Dan Jones. Massive achievement all up and down the paddock as well, if you've been winning your class, has to be said. But Dan Jones has done a spectacular job, and I think it's safe to say, the highest driving standards have probably been, in terms of driver control, has probably been in this Class 15. Maybe not the best behaved, but certainly one of the most entertaining. So it is Dan Jones to take the provisional S plate, and a great lock-up as he slides across the line. Alex Biles has been an absolute highlight and a dream to watch as well, because he's come back from the back of the grid every single time of this race, and he comes home in second place. Max Humphrey Cooper, again, from the back of the field, I believe, actually, to come home in third place in the end. So a fantastic way to seal out the Nationals for the Class 15.
Yeah, an excellent result then for that one. Lots of support coming in for Max as well. Of course, he missed his first day isolating at home. It was the same for Katie Hodgkinson as well. This is at home, tucked away, couldn't leave the house until midnight. There is Katie crossing the line of the 20, and of course, kart's repaired, she's repaired, and the tyre wall was repaired as well, and back out on circuit, carried on racing. Good to see. The rest of the field slotting through as well. So, provisional results then as they cross the line. Dan Jones takes the checkered flag from Alex Biles, Max Humphrey Cooper, Henry Wardle, Josh Neve, Matthew Lewin, Harry Parr, Ewan Syme, then it was Hayden Abrams, Joe Webb, Caden Bott, Katie Hodgkinson, Cameron Bott, Tom Rayer, Joseph Wardle, and Andrew King.